and welcome back to Let's Play Star Wars 3. Anyway, you know how I was looking for asteroids with things inside them in the last episode? I found out that, or someone told me very nice and handily, that it's the ones with the little beacons on it that blink like that. So that's actually quite nice. So we did find one actually. It's just that I didn't know what it was. Or how to actually discover it. I think that's what they used to do though, and I think the Star Wars 2 I think had that? Maybe Star Wars 1. Whatever. Anyway. Wait, what? It was a dud? I thought... Okay, I'm confused. Yep, I'm officially mildly confused. Ah, okay, there's another one here. Maybe this one then? With any luck? No. What? Okay, am I just getting confused here? I thought that was... maybe I have to destroy the one next to it? No, that can't be right. Is there any other ones here that have it? No, I can tell. Okay, well that's mildly confusing. And disconcerting. Oh, whatever, you'll have to tell me if that is what's meant to happen or not. Because I did not get anything, I don't think. Oh well, anyway, without further ado, let's get out of here. We'll have a look at the Smuggler base for now. Also, ooh, hi. Launch all fighters. What have we got here? Just a brigand? Yeah, just a brigand. Missiles are offline, which is perfect. I will go for this one while you go for that one, Trenny. Okay, I will reacquire target in this then. Come on. It's not that hard, it's right there. All you need to do is shoot it. Right, cool. Whatever. We managed to get it with a wolf anyway. It matters not. Right, so Z. Anyway. Once we've finished with the docking, we'll go and dock at the station and have a look at it. I've also been told that you don't actually really get let off the leash, so I guess we'll just have a look at news reports and stuff like that. Which is kind of unfortunate, but alas. What can you do? First generation fighter. Right, what do we have? What are we? Grade 3 pilot? Grade 3 pilot, okay. So we're both grade 3. Does that mean we can take grade 2 fighters? Grade 1. Oh, generation 1. It's a bit vague, isn't it? Oh, whoa. Berserker Mark 2? Last generation of Berserks created an AI utilizing more advanced modifications to lasers stolen from the mainframe. No matter how hard human experts tried, they failed to copy this weapon because of its radically new method of medium pumping. Some aspect of this gun features technologies that the precursors had greatly surpassed their knowledge of energy manipulation. However, this does not mean that this kind of gun cannot be used on human fighters. It just requires vast amount of experience and technological adaptation. Huh. Ooh. The Cheetah Special Purpose Fighter 4th generation. Particle Accelerator Mark the 2nd generation? Ooh. Ursula is the second attempt to mass-produce a promising weapon, but a very expensive weapon. The gun turned out to be more reliable and damaging than the Thunderbolt it was based on. However, it offered slightly lower rate of fire. Still, the cost of the gun nearly doubled that of the prototype, so Army refused to adopt it. To make up for the huge investment to Ursula development, the company sold a few samples to the black market. Okay. Some of these weapons are cool sounding, like the Rage. A combat laser of the 4th generation, mixing the Shining, a mix of the Shining and Precursor technologies. Shining? Okay, anyway, Shining and Precursor technologies. Despite its outward similarity with the prototype, Rage is a unique device that utilizes new methods of medium pumping and photon beam focusing. As a result, it keeps decent combat specification but offers a higher rate of fire. Inoko produced only a small quantity of these lasers for its elite security forces. Huh. Anyway, without looking at the rest, we'll just continue. Yoragan. Yatagan turret, okay. Yatagan. We've also got some main cannons, I believe? Yeah, they look like main weapons. They're quite expensive though. Oh, 85,000 for the cheapest one? Ooh, what's this? Fantasy Haven. A 20-pod Dynamaco. The Fantasy Haven represents the pinnacle of Dynamaco munitions. Like the others, it is unknown who the Gitsokyu Space Industries researchers originally created this weapon, though rumours around the new Kyoto is a genius alcoholic who stretches the schematics with his eyes closed? Sketches schematics with his eyes closed, claim the divine inspiration. Currently, the beautiful red-white Miko etched on his casing looks deliciously divine. Huh. Interesting. Well, let's have a look at what we've got back here. We have got better sensors that we could utilise. There may actually be an idea. I also want one of these auto repairs so we can reduce the hey, I need to just run away and not go into battle for a very long time till I get a repair shipyard type thing. Ooh. Oh, sweet! I can get an anti-laser system on the Wolf. That's actually really nice. Okay, well, I'll have to come back to this system at some point. Because this is really quite nice stuff. I'm trying to think though, like, should I get rid of some of this stuff? Also, where the hell do I put bloody escape pods? I guess I need to find a system security. Like the NESF, when they're not trying to kill us. I guess we'll pick up the next mission from our friend. Your friend and I. Let's undock the fighters, just in case. Because it's probably just going to be safer. There we go. Another bloody escape pod, seriously. Arrgh. Come on. So yeah, we'll just keep us in a defensive formation, seeing as how we keep getting attacked. Okay, that seems good. Jump to Argon, yes. So, welcome back to the Argon system. Be really nice to have a better fighter, but better fighters, but unfortunately we can't really afford them right now. Also, I'm trying to figure out how this, because we're all third class, does that mean that I can take a second generation fighters fine? I'm guessing that is the case, but I don't know exactly. Yes, we'll initiate the docking. Office, Mercenary Shining. Don't be so picky. Well, dear Brotherhood, things are going to get really bad after the missing one opportunity after another, putting on the line our reputation as the Brotherhood, which is at this rate will be soon the House of Distinguished Maidens. Let us remind you that our overslept the cleaning of Hephaestus from the filthiest types of pirates, the scavengers. It wouldn't be so bad if these pests were cleared by the NESF, who are afraid to soil their clothes. Don't enter the dust let alone enter the dust cloud. But no. It was the work of a traitor, who does us a big favour in Eliu by blowing to pieces another goon. Hi Curtis, consider the fact that that was us as well. Considering the fact that the traitor drives a pirate mothership, once belonging to the Mad Dogs clan, which was also supposedly taken out by the traitor, we can assume that these two traitors are the same person. And he is serious. Unlike other mercenaries, there is what hunting can tell you. Brothers, if there pops up a couple more traitors like this, we passionless couch potatoes will have just one way to have just one way in store for us. Paint our ships pink, engrave flowers on our spacesuits, and replace our weapons with fancy ribbons. Hunting wishes you good luck, brother. Though, under certain circumstances, our slogan sounds, sardonical? Sardonical. Satirical? I thought it would have been, like, well, whatever. Passing the patrol lost money, okay. Oh wow, there's a lot of news right now. Oof. Okay, no one escapes the law. Attorney General Andrew Fox addressed the judges of the Supreme Imperial Court today, with documents proving the involvement of the Triada Corporation in pirate activity. The copies given to the press contained information that the Triada often invoked the help of pirates, arranging contract murders and attacks on stations and trade convoys, brought weapons. I'll see if I can read this a touch faster, just on my own. It seems to just basically be the Triada Corporation, as far as I can tell. I've been using pirates, and then the Empire, I'm guessing, was like, hey, by the way, don't do that. Yeah, we'll just abbreviate it like that. An attempted Empire pilots fines without penalties, resulting in the failure, according to official reports, only 1.5. The total sum was paid during the Aminosity period, which totaled which totaled a humble 23,200 credits, whereas the total outstanding amount was more than 1,700,000 credits. I'm assuming that's meant to be a point at least instead of a comma. The government says that the pilots are willing to cooperate with the forces introduced the draconic laws. The penalties and dramatically increasing the patrol teams allowed the shoot to kill of owners who refused to pay the fine on spot. Huh. Don't litter. The new law to deal with litter problem comes into force as of today. Dumping waste in the new empire will now be prosecuted by a large fine and even more serious measures up to imprisonment. The law applies both to the orbital objects and private ships. To separate article deals with mining businesses and reprocessing companies which are required to install dust filters and waste elimination facilities. According to Jai Stingray Funds... Stingray? Okay. According to the Jai Stingray Fund, which was the initiator of this law, the amount of garbage accumulated in space for some systems is so big that you can pose a threat to space travel. Some debris and dust surrounding mining sites can penetrate energy shields at low speed and damage ships' hull and systems. With the new voice of the Empire. You're with the new voice of the Empire. Stay tuned. What the Empire doesn't tell you. Another show by the name of Who to Blame for All Our Misfortunes took place in the Azur's Imperial Space Court recently. Without thinking long, the judges pushed all the blame on the Triada Corporation, promised to seek out and nail down everyone related to this corporation found in the old Empire space. It's hard to believe that the Triada's shady business went unnoticed for such a long time to become known just this week. This raises obvious questions. Why all the time... Sorry, 1 minute. Why all the opera? It is the obvious answer comes to mind. Maybe to avert attention from the tragedy that took place in the new Donbass base system. A month ago, under the excuse of right suppression, a mining colony of New Donbass, the Empire sent a squad of commandos there, whose actions would later be described as a bloodbath. The information that can really... The information about what really happened there is kept secret up to this day. The Imperial officials can only mumble something unintelligible in response to direct inquiries. Nevertheless, one of our correspondents managed to get in contact with the witness of the incidents. According to the witness, not a single citizen was left, not even a woman or child. Today is the official day of the grief of Russian colonies. Oh, okay. Which were joined in the event of inhabitants of neutral systems. By inhabitants of neutral systems. New Donbass, we feel your sorrow and grieve with you. Studio 66 bringing you news without lies or prejudice. The Aquarius Triangle. Reports about transports missing in the Aquarius sector have become more frequent of late. The debris system is considered the most dangerous for traders, in particular debris 1 and 2. Officially belonging to no one, they are often raided by pirates and mercenaries, not siding with any warring parties. But officially does not mean actually. The debris system has effectively become pirates' paradise. The Empire, which once tried to bring discipline to these systems, washed its hands in frustration. Mark Forco Sagan, Imperial Home Secretary, stated, "Today the main body of our forces is occupied with the defending of this system, which we have remained loyal to lawful organized authorities, and we have no reason to win back what we have lost. But I'd like to assure all citizens that the Empire remembers them and that help is already on the way. We don't know what way Mr. Foreskin." Sorry. Oh, dyslexia! Why did you make me say the foreskin? Mr. Forcosagan was talking about, but the fact that the MSF today scares traders more than pirates should speak for itself. Studio 66 bringing news. I'm sorry, but that was hilarious. It was like, Mr. Foreskin, oh, I'm sorry, oh. Hot pursuit. Hey, Mercenary Brothers, there is a hot contract for you looking for the pirate gang Signiers that mainly operates in the old empire. So far, they have plundered dozens of trade vessels. According to unconfirmed information, the gang leader pretends to be of noble birth. This helps them lure unsuspecting pilots into a trap. The FTU's offering 5,000 credits for the gang leader, dead or alive. If you manage to eliminate the entire gang, you will be awarded 500,000 credits. Hurry up, brothers. Such bounties in our heads, those Signiers will kick up the bucket very soon. And maybe some lucky mercenary will hit the jackpot. Hunting wishes you good luck, brothers. So how do I actually pick up missions now that I think about it? Oh, so this might be all there is to this episode. I'm sorry. Just looking at all this, like, oh my god. But you know, I kind of do like the looking at the news. There just seems to be a massive amount of it. Death for the greater good. Today, the MSF Special Forces carried out the military operation to destroy the terrorist organization known as Supernova, which has their base in one of the stations in the Gredos system, which is sponsored by the so-called New Empire. These, using the Falcon station as their temporary base, the criminals were planning several acts of intimidation against the civil population of Aurora, Argon, and Sereno systems. When presented with the option of surrender, the terrorists refused by the looks of it, detonating a large amount of explosives held in the station and completely destroying it, along with the other personnel. The MSF Special Operations Team proceeded to begin the rescue operation, and in hopes of finding survivors when the NESF Armoured Squadron suddenly appeared on the scene and opened fire without warning. According to His Majesty's flag officer, hey there, our men fought bravely and selflessly against the aggressors. But the enemy had overwhelming advantage in numbers. No one in the MSF team survived, though he noted that the NESF cutthroats had suffered greater losses. He had to flee to the system right after the attack. The Emperor will never forget its heroes. The Emperor mourns all who defended their home. The Emperor will never forgive traitors. IGNA, your most authoritative news source. Authoritative? Authoritative. Okay, news source. Authoritative. Pack thinks about your health. According to the recent statement about the social movement, passengers against cellulite, Imperial transports must be outfitted with stationary bikes so people who spend a lot of time in transit can exercise. Moreover, pack leaders demand that the government should obligate the Free Traders Union to dismember pilots who refuse to install the training equipment on their ships. At least the transport ones. Government officials have not yet responded to these claims. Meanwhile, the pack encourages pilots to join the initiative voluntarily. Other regional offices started giving out ribbons for tying to their antenna cluster, which means to signify that the pilot in question cares about his passengers. IGNA, their most authoritative news source. Portal restored. Corino's System Transport Control Administration reports that the Corino to Taira portal is being restored and in working order. According to official reports, the case of the breakdown was a failure of the gravitational whirl generators. Oh, okay. And one of the portal's blocks. I love how I pretended that I knew what that meant, but I'm assuming it basically just, spins gravity to make it their zero gravity, maybe? So it effectively makes an artificial Longeray point? Yeah, I'm just taking a guess. This causes the general failure in the positioning of the hyperspace well that could lead to unpredictable consequences for any ship entering the swirl. Transport control officials tell us that all the repair works have been carried out in an orderly fashion, and that passage is now obviously safe, absolutely safe even. Hypocrisy again. Azur's government, acting in the signature cruelty, performed another intimidating action in the Greedos system by destroying a trade station, Falcon, even. Falcon Punch! Along with its inhabitants, this is an official exercise the Emperor said about, as an official excuse, the Empire said something about it being an anti-terrorist operation, but for some reason, instead of the transport ships with commandos, they were issued in such cases to infiltrate and take control of the station. They sent a team of destroyers and instead of sending basically commandos, they sent destroyers and torpedo ships at the station. As evidence from intercepted radio communication between the MSF and the station, Imperial butchers didn't even bother to contact the station before opening fire, and continued to attack the station until the Falcon's core exploded. Despite numerous pleas from citizens to stop, the NESF's Sentry Squad got the station's SOS and immediately sped to the location, but couldn't make it in time to save the station. In an attempt to rescue the possible survivors, the NESF engaged the enemy, and despite this substantial numerical superiority, managed to destroy its aggressors, losing the majority of the squad. Empress Astra commented on the situation by saying that Azur's realm, when Azur's realm is dealt with, all involved in planning and carrying out this crime, as well as the massacre of New Donbass, will be found and brought before the Imperial courts. You're with the voice of the new Empire. Stay tuned. The legacy of the old Empire. Governors of the new Empire systems got their posts after the old Empire officials were deposed, addressed to the government of the Empress Astra with a request to establish a court of inquiry to fight with insurance fraud cases. The court should be comprised of auditories, lawyers, and specialise in hypothetical and medical insurance, and should be allowed free access to the financial documents that any company under clout. Okay. Despite the needs for such institution, is that right? Institution. The governments say that despite the change in power, there are still a big number of insurance companies in the new empire. Those operational schemes can be characterized as pettifogging. Unfortunately, regional prospection offices don't have the authority to fight against multi-system companies. You're with the voice of the new empire. Stay tuned. We're roughly halfway now. Woo! New victims of war. Another station fell victim to the fight for the throne between the old and the new empires. Our conspirators report that the MSF even, cold-bloodedly destroyed Falcon trade station in the Gredos system and engaged the NESF forces which arrived on the scene of the incident. Not long before the tragedy of Falcon officials refused to accept MSF's ships stationed in the Gredos system in the station for servicing, and sent a message to other ships calling them out for them going under the new empire's jurisdiction. A bitter experiences of the new Donbass have taken into consideration and the majority of the station's inhabitants were evacuated before the MSF made their attack. It seems that the NESF suspected something like this might have happened, but couldn't get their forces to the station in time to save it. Whoever's right and whoever's wrong in this tragedy is not for our agency to decide, but for the citizens in neutral systems. One thing is clear as day: God save us from from siding with either of the empires. Wow. So basically, there's propaganda being spun on both sides. Hunting time! Greetings, Mercenary Brotherhood. Hot news today. Malcolm Dunelli, aka Vulture, was spotted in the Gredos system. Has anyone forgotten the amount of money the new Empire is willing to part with in this man's head? No? Then hurry to the Aquarius sector where this slime ball is most probably hiding now. I should probably write these down, shouldn't I? I'll go over this again on my own and I'll write these down. Hurry to the Aquarius sector where this slime ball is most probably hiding, and even if our little Malcolm is of no interest to you than the structure of those willing to clean debris, Achilles and Pegasus from this pirate scum, ask yourself, brothers, aren't you tired of sweeping the Centaur system in search of insecure traders and convincing them that they need to be escorted? Fame is like a woman. It doesn't come to those who do the same old routine over and over again, remember that. Hunting wishes you good luck, brothers. Okay. NESF, thief. Once a thief, always a thief. The MSF convoy carrying a shipment of humanitarian aid from Krino to XK-16 system was fiendishly attacked during its forced stop due to the breakdown of Carino Tyra portal. According to the official reports, the convoy is drifting near the MSF headquarters. It is secret. So its security is at minimum. A group of unidentified ships equipped with cloaking devices attacked the convoy and managed to escape with the cargo before the ship's additional fighters sent by HQ came to the scene. It is known that the cargo ships have sustained major damage, though they were still able to leave the Corino system through the portal of Debris 1. There is no information regarding the fate of the pilots at this moment. When asked to comment, the MSF intelligence told us that the attack was executed professionally, which rules out the possibility of a pirate raid. Most probably the attackers were army deserters who later defected to the NESF. According to the representative of the Imperial Front, Honourable Lords Ainer Ja, the cargo, which consisted of life support systems, electronic equipment for stations, food and medication, can be considered extremely valuable, taking into account many systems' current state of deficiency. It is also no wonder that the traders of the new empire took interest in it. Officially, and unfortunately even, the MESF cannot yet say when they will be able to send another such cargo to the people of XK-16, who were brought to the brink of starvation by the terrible theft. Games are lucrative. Having encountered serious financial problems, the government of Hanoi has put a vote into question the legalization of gambling, which has potentially helped refill the government's coffers by the way of income tax. It is still unclear how local population will react to this decision, but critics say that even if gambling will be officially permitted, the government will not be able to gain the profits it's hoping for, as the players will partially be drawn over to the neighbouring CADI and XK-16 systems, which introduce similar laws. All the more similar initiatives have already been in discussion in those systems. Patrol has issued a warning that the legalization of gambling will adversely affect the criminal situation in the system, but Hanoi's governor Quish waved it off as almost alarmist and unsubstantial. New goals of the MSF. There were a lot of MSF activities in the Centaur system lately, and it seems that now no one is safe. Now one can safely say that the system has become the next victim of the Azur's butchers. The population of Al-Zid system, which recently declared its independence, seems to have underestimated the atrocity the MSF can employ, especially when the matter concerns the control of strategically important shipments of osmium 190, saying that the populace that are willing to come under the jurisdiction of the new empire was another not so prudent decision. Okay. The Dinos system, which once was Azur's steady source of radium and later adopted to join the empire, is now under MSF blockade, which doesn't even let civilian traders through. Al-Zid could soon suffer the same fate. The MSF seems to be rallying significant attack force near the system. The Empress Astra is sorry to say that there is currently no way of sending any SF forces to Al-Zid or Dionysus without risking the safety of the whole new empire. She promises that help will come. Okay. Crime concerns everyone. The government of New Empire informs that it is launching a new initiative service which attempts to which accepts and processes reports of crimes, victims, and witnesses that can be filled in a matter of minutes, and selecting the needed options from the menu. The data is then processed and automatically verified with the help of other government services. And cases are assigned levels of priority. The authorities hope that this approach will save them time of investigations and determining the details of the incident, as well as providing more coherent image of the criminal activity in the specific systems. The service is more anonymous, and according to the Patrol Command, it should be a great help in dealing with fences, pirate attacks, and on trade convoys and stolen goods and money laundering. Okay. Well, we're a bit more than halfway, at least. So that's good. Also, sorry about the bad reading, that's just dyslexia coming out. Daunting silence. The contracts with our correspondent in the Pandora system. Pandora? Yeah, Pandora system has lost early today and could not be re-established. The last message that he sent to us via an open channel was a disturbing report of unknown ships appearing in the Endria 1 and attacking the system's defense forces. All attempts to reach the MSF's system's population is not being successful. While the MSF seems to ignore our inquiries, the Pandora is the sixth system that has suddenly gone silent. Voice is starting to go. After Charon, yeah, Pegasus XT-24, XT-27, and Zebos. There was absolutely no information on what is going on in those systems, as well as a number of similarly similarly silent systems in the frontier sector. We asked people who have any information about said system to contact our agency. There is a possibility that these strange silences is the effect of a military operation and political warfare, and only truth can help our people, which were cut off from the rest of the world. Okay. Studio 66 bringing news without lies and prejudices. Many a little makes Triada rocket launcher. What? Okay. An urgent message from the systems controlled by the Triada Corporation. According to the Triumvirate's decision, any person who seeks permanent or temporary accommodation in one of the many Refugee centres established by the corporation's space from now on must pay 50 credits for each night spent in these stations. Corporation's officials say that the measure will stimulate refugees either into seeking a job or to continue moving to safer systems. However, the corporation assures that no one will be thrown out into open space, even if the person has no money to pay their rent. Our question is how to determine who has the money and who has not. What was left unanswered, beside from reliable sources who wish to remain undisclosed. We got the information that the majority of the resources gathered by this new law will be spent not on improvement of living conditions for refugee centres, but on the purchasing of battle equipment and armaments for the corporation's security teams. Sweeping up. Hey brothers! Dying for a decent job? The waiting is over. The administration of the new Empire and Exchange started a new joint campaign called The Big Sweep. Gone are the days waiting for our clients to decide which pirate base needs cleaning up. Gone are the days of counting every rocket launched at an outlaw at your expense. From now on, the new Empire gives a reward for every roasted pirate, no matter the circumstances, and a really big bounty for every destroyed pirate base. A separate message for those individuals who blemish our Brotherhood with contract hits and other shady businesses. Don't even think about covering our activities with this event. Covering your activities with this event. We know your targets and your reasons. Whoever decides to lead us a pretty dance will not have long to fly in this universe. You, dear friends, score the best points in the reward list. Lie is the best weapon. This phrase seems to be the motto of the so-called New Empire leaders. It is the only way to explain the biased attitude which they describe most every action of the MSF military. One of the latest more absurd accusations, which was also spread by the New Empire's pocket radio station broadcast from its neutral world, Studio 66, incriminates the MSF of preparing some bloody massacre in the Al-Zid system. The representative of the Imperial Front Office, Honourable Lords Aingyar-Ji, called this accusations an out-and-out lie, announcing that Al-Zid's system is currently held hostage by pirates who most probably acts by the aid of the Triada Corporation. The local population is frightened and unable to oppose the invaders, but the Empire is not going to turn a blind eye to the troubles of its people. According to James Hader, the flag officer of His Majesty, the Empire is going to solve the situation without resorting to violence. Violence? I don't even know what violence is. Resorting to violence. But for the purposes of securing the neighbouring system, some possible attacks of the pirates of Al-Zed, a mobile MSF unit will be stationed in Al-Trabon. Okay. Soon. How many pages we got? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we got 3 pages left. We're almost there, people. If you've stuck this long, I have just got to say thank you. And sorry for the horrible reading. There's quite a lot of mercenaries, isn't there? Huh. Maybe I should just, like, buy mercenaries and have a couple of wings of mercenaries with me. Because I'm guessing I can get them. The Star Dragons. Anyway, let's continue. Starting order. The new Empire and the Free Trade Union have signed a number of agreements today that, with a common goal of restoring property supply of goods. Proper? Oh, okay. Restoring proper supply of goods and necessary equipment to the big number of systems and stations of the so-called supply route map describes not only the routes, which will be extensively guarded by patrol teams, but also the priority of supplying particular systems of the new empire which have suffered the most from pirate raids. For safeguarding the trade routes, the new empire has also plans of invoking the services of mercenary teams with special permission from the exchange. Reportedly, the FTU has had a proposition for the same project in the administration of the old empire, but the offer was declined. The USS Corporation is also expected to take part in the project. The corporation's security service has already started to clean up of more criminalized parts of the Capricorn system. Incident in the New Dabas is really a slaughter. As our agency had promised, we will continue to conduct an independent investigation into the causes of the tragedy that befell the New Donbass system. And it looks like we finally managed to uncover the truth, which Alzur's empire was trying to hide so hard to conceal. Let us remind you that according to the official MSF reports, the miners of New Donbass excited a gratuitous riot demanding independence from the old empire and destroying the state's equipment, which provided to be enough of a reason to involve military forces. But as it turns out, what really happened was nowhere close to the official description. There was a riot in the New Donbass system, though the miners did not go on strike. Driven to despair by the lack of proper health service, extremely hazardous working conditions, and ridiculously low salaries, the higher overstated production quotas from the Imperial officials, the system's governor turned to his relative and the Empire's flag officer head there, asked him to bring the squad of MSF troops to drive off the workers to the mines on pain of being shot. His request was granted, and the Empire's Black Guard, a team of professionals notorious for their barbarity, was sent to the system. We were able to learn that at the time the Guard was sent to New Donbass, it has already been on several of the other operations and kept going almost solely on stimulants. Ooh. The landing at the New Donbass Central Station proceeded as planned. The hangar with the guard ships was left and the patrolled... One minute, I'm just making sure. The guard team was sent to New Donbass. It had already been on several other operations. Oh god, why? Oh, so they were jittery and jumpy because they were on stimulants. Oh, that's terrible. That is... Oh, you stupid. Stupid! Ah. Whatever. The landing at the New Donbass Central Station proceeded as planned. The hangar with the guards' ships was left to be patrolled by... Sorry, what? The hangar with the guards' ships was left to be patrolled by local security forces. Okay. And the Emperor's guardsmen entered the station. Even our sources could not find out what exactly happened next, but in the end, the guardsmen opened fire and killed the entire population of the station, including the system's governor, who was arrested by the miners. And held in his cabin. The eyewitness reports that after his operation on corpses of men After this operation, the corpses of men, women and children and the aged people were stacked in the hangar and later loaded into a ship without identifying marks. The people who lived at the station were later declared migrants, but it was clear that none of them reached their destinations. The location of the Black Guard remains unknown, and the local security which patrolled our ships was kindly offered to forget everything they saw, considering that all the portal officers have families in the New Donbass. The offer no doubt took effect. New Donbass. We promise to find the criminal responsible for such a horrible act. And even if we are unable to take them to court, we will make sure their names will be out in the open. Don't mess with your life. Don't miss your life? Okay. Hiya, Mercenary Brotherhood. It seems to us that a majority of you decided to ignore the Big Sweep campaign. A pity that such a pleasant and beneficial to the society activity as cleaning space from pirates, ramble earning much needed credits in the process remaining mostly forgotten, which such good rewards, allured conditions we at hunting honestly cannot understand why pirates as a species are still not extinct. On the contrary, numbers grow so fast that apparently they themselves don't realise how bad it is in society and start killing each other. Wait, what? How bad it is for the society and start killing each other? Okay. No, that's no joke. As the most notorious clans in Achilles, the Mad Dogs and the Wild Cats, were confirmed to have completely wiped each other out. Judging by their remains, both clans fought fiercely, but no survivors were left behind. Though there are some rumours that they were aided in their cause by some traitor. Whether this true or not, we'll never know, but the opportunity to collect a large sum of bounty for these two clans is without a doubt missed for good. The hunt wishes you good luck, brothers. Reassurance. The representative of the Imperial Front Office. Oh, my eyes are going. My eyes are going jumpy right now. Give me a moment. Oh. The representative of the new Imperial Front Office, Honourable Lords Agnier G, confirmed today that the Empire has decided to cooperate with the Free Trade Union and ratify the so-called supply route map. This suite of documents describes the main routes on which trade ships and convoys obligates the MSF to guard these routes extensively. Meanwhile, the Front Office notes that the documents will not be signed by the Emperor and the Prime Minister, though it is not necessary for such a document seems disputable. The MSF always helps any trader in needs. If the FTU needs additional assistance, the Empire will provide it. Nevertheless, under no circumstances of the Emperor or Prime Minister would sign a document. Under no circumstances, the Emperor and the Prime Minister would sign a document containing the signatures of traitors, renegades who call themselves the new empires. Okay. Drinking at the wheel. The Imperial Senate has initiated a discussion about introducing a bill which would limit the maximum permissible blood alcohol of civilian pilots. Many systems have not had such a limit in a long time, but the general rule of the Empire has not yet been formulated. Meanwhile, the Empire spends millions of credits a year on rectification and consequences of accidents happening because of drunk pilots. The law does not say how exactly the government will conduct the blood alcohol level analysis of pilots passing through checkpoints, but some of the senators also propose an outfit for the trade of private an outfit for all trade and private ships with portable analyzers, which will not allow the starting of vehicles if alcohol was detected in the pilot's breath. Okay. Pirate nest eliminated. The NESF team engaged and destroyed a pirate group, which was based in the Hepatitis system, according to rather stringy reports of the NESF command. The pirates were well armed and had several defensive perimeter made of automatic turrets. The patrolmen themselves were more talkative and told their correspondents how they ran into automated defense systems. Among the asteroids of dust clouds, they were chasing a pirate ship, presumably a supplier of these scavengers. From Argon, up until recently, the hepatitis system was filled with mines and ship remains. As the patrolman told us, was avoided by almost everyone. At the moment, an expedition of several teams has been formed to clean the hepatitis system of pirates and dismantle the turrets. You're with the voice of the Emperor. Empire, stay tuned. Caution, counterfeited goods. During the last few months, a new kind of fraud has been spreading into different systems in the New Empire, selling of spaceships and equipment with fake readings of engines and other components where. In the last month alone, over 200 private ship owners have appealed to the New Empire Public Prosecutor's Office, complaining that their ship's hull sold to them had new frames suffering metal fatigue, which cracked while gaining medium engine thrust. That new casings turned out to contain used internals and engines supposed to have exhausted. Just 1/10 of their service life failed soon after the purchase. The sellers of such goods had the stations and clearly systems abandoned before the first compliments of police authorities arrived. Considering that the aforementioned counterfeit goods may be hazardous to life and health, an investigation is launched directly by the New Empire Prosecution General's Office. Okay, so basically chop shops in space. Imminent problems. The FTU and both of the empires have signed an agreement to safeguarding the trade routes of convoys, which can potentially lead to a lot of problems for us residents of the neutral systems. The neutral status we are so proud of means that our systems will be last in queue of the secure trade routes. Traders, like all normal people who don't want to risk their lives for nothing new, now will surely favour Imperial sectors over our systems, which deciding where to conduct business. When deciding where to conduct business, it's doubtful the MSF. Wait, what? It's doubtful that the MSF does. I'm guessing. Okay, it's slightly confusing because the R's are. It's doubtful the MSF does, who always takes their toll from traders, will suddenly start honest lives. But sorry, what am I? It's doubtful that MSF doers who always take their toll from traders, will suddenly start honest lives. But they will surely have to tame their appetites. That's also unlikely that the NESF has enough ships to clear its systems from pirates. But specified trade routes will surely be a lot safer than previously. It's all clear that we won't be able to beat the empires in terms of prices on goods and transportations and trade routes. Our only hope is unique equipment and ships, fortunately manufactured only in neutral systems. Hey, FTU guys, don't be rash and strike out our neutrals from your navigational maps. We too have something to offer, and you'll surely like it. Past our portal, lost our money. More than 1,000 of the remote transponders exchange signals with the portal's toll system. Many may have a production defect. The experts of the Free Traders Union last month, just within the week, advanced multi-dynamics in manufacturing of transports and received 3,762 complaints from transport pilots. In some cases, general onboard computer failure was detected. Sometimes transports simply failed to contact the portal's receiver. But mostly, a transporter sent a transfer declaration of a greater sum of the transportation tax than prescribed by law. According to the company's officials, all the complaints that are dealt with will be dealt with soon. Okay, are to be dealt with soon and the defects remedied. But it hasn't been mentioned whether the excess sums paid by the pilots because of the faulty transponders are to be refunded or otherwise compensated. Anyway, I'm actually going to leave it there. That was a lot of reading. I'm so sorry, but it's something. It's interesting to actually have a look at it up, you know, because, hey, it fills the world out a bit more. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just having a look at what we got here. Pole axe. Oh, we could get like a laser for me. Well, whatever, we'll get to that later. But anyway, for now, I'll leave it there, so until next time, all the best, and I hope you enjoyed. I'm so sorry about all the reading, though. I'm just so sorry.